everyone, Ted Wyman here in Beijing with a look at the men's and women's curling tournaments. Jones and Brad Gushue have arrived in Beijing, and they'll be ready to take on the world in the curling tournaments over at the Ice Cube. And of course, Canada is always expected to do very well in curling. Now, in 2018 in Pyeongchang, Canada did not win medals in men's or women's curling, and it was certainly a bit of a shock. And those around Canada maybe started thinking about the reasons why and wondering if the world has completely caught up to Canada. Well, I think it's true. The world has caught up to Canada. Canada is not necessarily the favorite for a gold medal here, but I wouldn't bet against them completely. And the reason why is that Brad Gushue is one of the best men's curlers of all time. He's one of the best Canadian curlers of all time. And Jennifer Jones can easily be argued to be the best women's curler of all time in terms of her success. She's won so many Canadian titles and already has an Olympic gold medal. Brad Gushue also has an Olympic gold medal, which he won in 2005. When these tournaments get underway, it's going to be pretty interesting for both of the Canadian teams because they have so much experience, and they're going into a field that has great international teams. On the women's side, you've got Anna Hasselborg of Sweden and Silvana Tirinzoni of Switzerland that are easily as strong of medal contenders as Canada is. And on the men's side, you've got Niklas Edin of Sweden, who has just been unbeatable at the international level for so many years, and Bruce Mowat of Great Britain, who in many ways is the favorite here, even though he's never won a world championship before. So it's an interesting situation with the why international teams have started to catch up to Canada. And I believe the reason here is that Canada has always focused on having large-scale competitions with provincial representation to try to build a good, exciting method of deciding Canadian champions, and it's also a very marketable way to promote the sport. But it doesn't necessarily focus enough on particular teams in terms of their training. The teams from around the world, like the ones in Sweden and in Switzerland and in some other countries, are funded by their government specifically to train to become the Olympic representatives for their countries. And as a result, they are extremely good, extremely focused. They also spend a lot of time training in Canada against the best curlers in the world in our country. And it does help the international teams become that much stronger. And lately, in the last few years, certainly at the world level, the international teams have been superior. So that puts Brad Gushue and his teammates from St. John's, Newfoundland, and Jennifer Jones and her teammates from Winnipeg in a tough position where it's going to be very tough to get onto that podium, let alone win the gold medal. But it's certainly possible. They're going to have to curl extremely well. They're going to have to be precise. There's not going to be a lot of room for error. And every game, from the very start of this until the end, is going to matter. And I do believe that what we've seen from those teams is that they have that kind of capability to do that. So pretty good possibilities for a medal. Canada did not get a medal in mixed doubles curling. There's a good chance to get a couple still, and it's going to be a very, very good tournament. But again, you cannot lock it in because it's just become such an incredible battle to get to the top in international curling these days. For Post Media, I'm Ted Wyman in Beijing.